So I got a concept, and I have already started with this thing, with the sketches. So as I said, I have explained you a jailer or a prison guard is there, is waiting for, is seeing the prisoners inside the jail. With inside the window, there will be a window. For example, I just scribbled a so rough kind of concept. Okay, this is enough, because this is almost a key pose. And also I want to add some term called as golden poses. So why I'm telling that as a golden poses, I will explain you in the further thing. So okay, now we got the concept. Now we also put that in a paper. We planned it. Now we are going to the software. So the next step is going to be the layout. So I have imported a character. So okay, so I have also made a small okay. So just for sake, we consider this as a prison, and he's a guard who's looking into the prison. And like we have planned in the drawing, we see two prisoners sitting inside. One prisoner sitting over here, and one can be lying over in the floor or something. Because of some technical issue with my computer, I can't able to import the characters, so I just stick with some polygons. Okay. Now almost I haven't done anything, any great model or something like that. Just a small simple way for representing my character as a prison guard and also the prison. Okay. Now I have already made a camera view. So this is so for a rough focus of, I kept for almost 80 frames. It's almost 3.5 seconds. So I also played that in 24 frames real time. So I made a small camera. I guess so everyone know how to create the camera. Okay, now I'm getting into the first pose. So my first pose would be my main pose of focus, this one, the prison guard, or a jailer, who's standing next to the window and holding on the stick. Okay. So I'm also hiding this in model. Okay. So the guy is in T-pose. So before I start, I can put I can select all my controllers, and I'll press S as usual. Okay. So whenever you start animating a character in 3D, you start with the lower body. So I assume I have done a rough sketch, but I can able to change that pose. I can able to enhance it. That is fine. That is all about. That is about with me, about with you when you do the animation. You can improvise at any bit of the thing. Okay. So one thing we have to note down here: left side and right side of the character. So the normal people might think the left side of the character resembles this side, but we as an animator, we have to observe the character in this position. Like this is left side of the character and this is the right side of the character. So this is how we communicate as an animator. So okay, so when one leg goes back, that the left leg goes back and the right leg comes in, I have just made up with this drawing, made up with this pose. and I'm selecting some keys that I can able to move my character like this. So I have already made a mail program. So when you animate in 3D, the 2D point of perspective is so important, like for balancing the character. So firstly, uh, I went to the right view of it, and again I'm going to a front view. Now the character is balancing on left leg. So the weight of the whole body will go to the left leg. Okay. So following that, I'm controlling my hip to move. So when the leg goes front, that side of the hip goes front, and when the weight of the body weighs on the left leg, this part should be little elevated. So as usual, if we pose like this, so the left part of the body elevated up, the left part of the shoulder comes down. Okay. So meanwhile, I'm just checking the pose in my camera view. Okay, it's fine. So far it is fine. So okay, now I think I almost made the upper body, and so I'm just getting into my drawing. Okay. Okay. So the right side of the shoulder is little elevated. And I also am going to the right view and looking for the balance of my pose. I feel, yeah, probably a bit fine. Also, I want to like to give some. Okay, if you noted down, my prison guard has a stick on his hand, and also I have sketched that on his right hand. So also already I have created a stick, and by the way, I have already parented it also. So if you parent a object, it should be obviously in IK or FK also. But IK gives a proper function for constraints. So this is a basic thing, like we shift select the controller and the object for path, and you should keep in the animation mode, and you should go to constraint and parent. It will automatically parent. It's a simple process. Okay. So meanwhile, you go to the camera view. Look at it. Yeah. That's fine. So when you hold the stick on your right hand, and the left arm will be closer to the tip of the stick. So, okay. Now when I'm holding a stick, you have to get a perfect contact with your props that is holding. Okay, this is fine. Otherwise, you will create some problem with the rendering part and the lighting part. Okay. And I'm not touching with this arm. I'm just keeping it like this for now. And I'm going to camera view. I'm looking over the character. Okay, it feels good, but I guess can give a little more curve. So I can give a curve like this. So followed by and also the head. This now looks up. Enough with the pose. The pose is looking good. Okay, let's move on to the next pose. I'm making sure I'm just selecting all the controllers and I press S. And again, I'm going to the first frame and also I'm pressing S to make sure to key all the controllers. Then later I don't want to mess up with that. Okay. So the first pose, he pops in the camera. Sorry, he pops in the window. So what I'm going to do is, I just tilted him. Before that, I want to make sure the leg, the position of the leg. So this right leg is already placed over there. So I'm taking the left leg behind. I'm pulling my whole body, whole upper body into front view, upper body to this side. Okay. Okay, now okay, fine. So I'm also kind of rotating my ankle to the make the position visible and quite appealing in that camera view. Okay, now appeal is one of the animation principle. Okay, so my when my right leg comes forward, and obviously opposite to it my left hand comes forward as according to the walk cycle. So in this case I'm just animating for my camera view, so you don't want to go for a detailed pose only when you animate in a camera view. If you are animating for a game or 360 augmented reality or virtual reality, whatever it is, so if the project require a perfect posing of a character in all the angle, you should animate at every angle, not only the camera. This is the style of a movie or TV series kind of. Okay. This poses okay for now, and I just kept an interval for 10 frames between them, sorry, and I'm going to the next pose. So in this pose, I'm automatically dragging my left leg to go away from the frame. Okay. Now, same. I just want my body to go away from the position, not too much. Yeah. So this is fine. Can anyone tell a favorite animation movie of yours and why you liked it? Now I'm just selecting my left leg. So in the camera view it is fine, but I just want to put some foot roll for that. Okay, this much is enough. I got some problem with that. Okay, my knee controller is going away. You have to maintain all the knee controllers and also the elbow controllers too. Okay, so first when he comes in, he stands, he watches them, and he goes away. While in this position, I'm making my upper body controller to neutral pose. That means I'm giving them 0 values so that I don't want to get confused with my poses. Okay. It is normal. In this pose, I just want him to show the head of the character because he was curious about those two prisoners. That is why you can always in an animation you can always lead with your head, lead with your hand, lead with your leg, whatever it is, whatever the shot needs. So I just lead with the head because he is so curious about those two prisoners. And in this part he already checked with them, so he just walks away like normally. Also, just make sure about the pose. For that pose, what I want to do is that left hand of my character. I don't want to show that left leg into the camera. So I'm just pulling it away. You can also animate with FK if you are good at overlapping action and those kind of things. I generally prefer IK. So okay, comes in, look at the business and it goes out. That's it. So go to the next pose. Next pose is simple. Is getting away from the camera. So yes, then do it for the 30. And now I am setting the complete body where I can make a transformation of the character. I'm just pulling them away. It goes away. And also 29% key. And now the blocking is almost done. The basic blocking is done. Basic no, or the 50% of blocking itself done. I just kept a rough timing. Now I want to move the keys. I generally use dope sheet. So okay. So now I'm just keeping a rough, because this pose should be here, and the next suppose I need more time for him to observe the prisoners. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to a 42, 44th frame. Just filling those keys. Putting them here. And now I get some more time to view the prisoners. He's getting away and he goes off the screen. And we can able from 44 to 54 is so huge. 10 frames is not necessary for doing away. So instead I am reducing the frame. Can I? Oh, okay. Let's keep for 49. Goes away. Okay. Now I'm kind of thinking of putting an extra frames that might give some secondary action for the scene. So if you want to add some more essence to your shot or for the character, you can add the secondary action. So it is secondary. So it might go raw. It might not necessary for the character, but it might create some more flavor to the content. So that is why we are. That is also a reason for the secondary action. So in this particular thing, what I am trying to do is he went away, but still on a curious note, his head alone pops in. So I am just considering this as a secondary action for this particular planning. Okay, I don't want to show that much of body. Okay. So you can't leave the character in this pose. If you animate it in 3D, sorry 360. But in this shot it is fine for now. You can also later we can able to adjust that. Okay. So again, I am selecting all the keys and then pressing S to make sure. Okay. So again, he goes away. So directly I am going to my preset body controllers, and I am dragging it away. Okay. the basic blocking with the golden pose is already done. He looks, he comes in, he gets away, and again he pops in and checks them and goes away. So let us play this. So this is kind of so if you play in this stage, it is kind of I don't know what the exact term, floaty animation or kind of. So whenever you do a blocking, it is essential to keep that in stepped mode. The tangents should be in stepped mode. So why it should be in stepped mode is because with the very least pose, you can able to see the timing and also the spacing. You can consider it. Comes in and goes away, and again pops in. Comes in. So if you want more frames in between, or more frames between this and this, and you want to stay this, you can give them to stay bit of 1.5 seconds or something like that, and again it goes away. So for this 80 seconds, this is fine. In this again 80 frames, this is fine. Okay, so following to this, okay, so I just added 2 more poses and also extended the timing. Comes in and have a little gesture with that stick, like he taps and goes away, and also he pops in and check them again. Okay, this is how you will go to the next step of the blocking.